Hi, this is Nathan, Westcoast Meeples.
I'm Brad. We're going to do our top 10 for games over 90 minutes.
We decided to go with our West Coast collection, so both of our collections combined to open it up a little bit more, but we seem to like what we like.
The caveat is, for me, is I'm not putting games on that I haven't played more than 6 times.
Less than 6 times.
Less
than 6 times.
Less than 6 times.
Yeah. I've got 1 on mine. So, well, we'll start with an honorable mention. This one I just got. We got a couple on the table a couple times, but I can see this one becoming, getting on the table more and more often.
I liked it too.
It just hits the 90-minute mark type idea. It was a nice play. It was enjoyable, and I can see it easily getting on the table more and more often. It's a 1 to 4 player game. I bought it originally because I'm Dutch background. Windmill Valley seemed like a great idea, but actually it surprised me. It played way better than I thought it was going to be honest. And it gets an honorable mention for sure in my books.
My honorable mention is Viscounts, only because I've only played it 3 times. It plays fairly long for some reason. We all end up liking this game. I don't know really why. I mean, we like Shem Phillips games, but I don't know what about this one we like so much, other than there's the 2 tracks. I like that.
Yeah.
Everything I like about it, the artwork, everything, but
I think it was because you could do so many different things at the same time, and everybody didn't have to be doing the same thing.
I end up getting the every expansion and the big box for it. I haven't gone around to playing any of it. That's how much I liked it.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
No, can't complain of any of his games.
Yeah.
No. So Architects is and it's another Shem game, and we played this one a lot too. And this is one that can go to the table almost every time we get together, and that's kind of what I looked at as the top 5 games in my mind, is ones that that you don't say no to. Mm-hmm. You're willing to put it on the table every time. You're willing to play it. It's fun to play every time. It's not a drudge through. I know
it has a lot of take that.
Yep. Yeah, and we've kind of started to play with a modification of our own, and that's made it a lot more enjoyable too. And and then I still have to play with some of the expansions I have. I haven't played with many of those ones on this one yet, for sure, at all.
But maybe one of our favorite artwork too.
Yeah.
Not everyone likes it, but we like it.
Yeah, I know, and our wives like it a lot. It's family friendly, and it's still interesting. Let's put it that way.
Quality cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, quality product.
Yeah, and and like I said, family friendly. There's some other games out there that are really good, but I know that unfortunately it's not worth bringing out onto the table with my wife around, because she's not going to like the cards. She's not going to like the artwork, unfortunately. I mean, it's for a different set of people, and there's nothing wrong with that.
My number 5 is Obsession. Yeah, I have the expansion, but it's not that big of a deal. I think just the base game is good. I bought it because my wife is a Downtown Abbey fan, and if she plays, I play. I gotta play more games if she plays. And I like the mechanism of the characters, your meeples, they're servants. You use them with the card you have, and the tiles you buy. And you have to start with a certain amount of tiles as well, and then they get moved, and you can't use them for 2 more turns, and then they slide over, and then you can finally use them again. And I think our wives kick our butt at this game, but
yeah, I think they win more often than we do. Yeah,
but I still like it even losing. Yeah, that seems weird to me, but it's a really good game. Really good quality.
Oh, it's a good looking game.
Different.
It's
different too. Plays differently in a lot of games.
It's got a lot of interesting different movements to it and stuff like that. This is a newer one. Number 4, Mistwind. We were at a tabletop convention last year. Yeah, and I saw this one being demoed, and I had to get it.
You tried buying it there.
I tried buying it off the lady demoing the game. That's how much I was enthralled with the game. But of course, she needed it for another tabletop convention that she was going to and needed to demonstrate it. So yeah. It's First Fish Games. They've got a couple games out there. This is probably one of their, as of right now, this is probably their more complicated game, longer game. Yeah, they have a lot of quicker, faster games. They're all enjoyable, but they've got like their ducks in tow and stuff like that. This is a really good one. This is kind of a step up from Ticket to Ride. You're trying to build tracks from one end to the other. You're trying to build a run. You're transporting goods back and forth. Got a lot of aspects from a lot of different games put together in a unique way that it seems different. It's not like it doesn't feel like a copy of.
It's gorgeous table presents.
Yeah. Big table,
Like the
nice pieces.
Nice pieces, different,
Yeah.
slightly different colors.
Yep.
And they have the, I don't know if you're going to mention this, you have 5 tokens for your turn, but it's kind of a hidden. Once you use a 5 token, and you place it, then that spot's taken. Yeah, I like that. That's a very interesting way to play.
My expectation for it, and when I actually got it to play it, were pretty matched on, and I was really excited about that because it doesn't always happen. I'm sure you all know you find a Kickstarter, it looks really good in the Kickstarter, and then by the time you get it actually on the table, it's kind of like, oh, you're only going to play it once or twice, and you kind of played it through. But this one, multi-play's no problem. I've played this one probably about 8 times myself. I think we've only played it 2 or 3 times as a group.
This would make my top 10.
Yeah, it's just buying too many games lately, and we just can't get everything on the table as much and as often as we want.
So my number 4 is Viticulture with Tuscany. Jamie Stegmaier game, and I like his game. I like his games as well, or he produces some games too. But I think this is the one he designed. And it's very thematic once you play with Tuscany. You have the vineyard, you got to plant them, then you got to cut the vine, then you got to place the vine in barrels, and then it goes.
Yeah,
it's so thematic. You got to do like 5 steps. I forget, but. Then you finally take it to market, when that's where you get your points. Turn placement too is kind of interesting. If you want to place first, you always get the best action you want to take, and it's open all the time. But if you take an action farther down the list, or a turn later in the list, so if you're last, you might get an extra turn or a couple extra cards out of the deal.
Yeah,
so you gotta
extra victory points.
Yeah, when do I wanna? If I really need that action, then I want to be one of the first ones on the list. But then you get you get nothing if you're the first.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
No, but you're the first one to pick so you can do a lot more. Take that to everybody else for sure, because everybody wants the same spots. It seems every time you get to is around the same.
And you have the grande worker too, so that one can go at any spot, which is I don't know if any other game has it or not.
I can't think of any right now off the top of my head for sure. That's because it allows you to duplicate on a spot that you're only allowed 2 workers, and you can put a third on it because of the grande.
Or everyone could put their grande.
A grande, yeah.
If you didn't have that, the game wouldn't work without the grande.
No, especially when you play it up to 6 players, because you really need that grande worker every time around. Yeah.
So, Viticulture.
Well, here's one I'm gonna jump Brad's list probably is Orléans. So that's we're at the third. Yeah, spoiler again. Yeah, Orléans. This is one Brad picked up, and I had looked at quite a few times and kind of passed on it. And Brad actually pulled the trigger on it, and I'm happy he did because this one's really enjoyable. I could play this one. It's really playable. And that's some of the games you got to buy. You got to be playable. There's some games that are you buy them because of their theme, or because of the hype behind them, or because it has a different type of mechanism or whatever. But this one, we could probably play this one almost every time we meet up. It plays different. Both our wives enjoy it.
There's a lot of little things you can do in the game,
and you can play different ways.
Yeah,
you don't have to play the same. What I like about this one too, and my top 3 are all this way. You don't have to play the same system to win, and there's multiple ways of winning, and we've played different ways, and we do win. So yeah, there's still some luck involved, in any game that doesn't have luck, in my mind, is not as much fun. You've got to be a little bit of luck. You can't come down with a set theory to win every time, But yeah, no, this one, Brad's done a couple upgrades on it. They're really nice, and I really enjoy this one. And it can hit the table more often than not, and I have no problem with it at all.
Number 3 for me is Wingspan. This might want to be one of our... It's not our gateway game, but it was right after we started getting the game. Both of us bought Wingspan.
It was right after...
That was our game. That was our game for quite a while.
It was probably right after Catan. So Catan probably did
I got one game. I got one game before that.
Yep.
That kind of got me into starting buying games.
Yep.
We got upgraded bits from Nathan. The
we 3D printed.
print.
Yep.
Which adds to the game, but yeah, we both like this game with just the European expansion. It just adds more cards. I don't know how much it changes it, but it adds a lot of cards.
A little bit of play on because of the cards.
Power,
because
I don't know how much power it adds.
Not much difference. No, not a big one for the Oceanic. I've got all the expansions to this one. I was actually surprised Brad has it in his top 5. I would put this one in my top 10 for sure. But yeah,
I love this game.
Yeah, no, I was actually surprised to see Brad have this one. Yeah, this one actually was one of the biggest surprises out of his list so far, for sure.
I defend this game constantly on sites where they're saying Wingspan is better. I'm like, if you like a dragon theme, I could see that, but they go because of the dice. There is mitigation. You can get bird cards that give you food that you need.
Oh yeah.
There's ways. I don't agree with. Oh, it's all luck with the food. It's not. There's some, but you can get around it. And if it was easy, you always had this. You always able to get the resources you needed. Then what kind of game is that?
It's not as much fun. No.
I haven't tried Wingspan, so I don't know.
Yeah.
If it probably is good.
Yeah.
But I don't see me replacing Wingspan with it. I prefer, and I like the theme of birds over dragons.
And you got
enough.
You got the newest one, Fishpan, right, or whatever it is.
Fishpan. That's an easier version.
Yeah, but I think it was pretty easy for them to say those ones are better because they first had to make Wingspan, and now if they're not better, then you got a problem because you're not improving upon something you've already gotten. Well, then why you bother making another game? And that's the way I look at it, right? But everybody likes a different theme. But yeah, the Wingspan, you can't go wrong with it. I mean, the artwork's awesome. Yeah. The playability is great. Your wife can make a machine on that board like I've never seen. That she can get it going where she's getting food resources and she can be building up like you wouldn't believe on her board. I don't know how she can find those cards every time. I still think she puts them up her sleeve and pulls them out when she needs them. But yeah,
we also play with one extra round.
Yes,
where we don't do the bonus end round. We just do a regular round, and that seems to also it just adds to the game. Plus, the last round, you're not egg spamming. Everyone complains about that too.
Yeah,
you can actually save some of your high priced birds and place them and get more points, or you can cycle through and tuck cards rather than just egg.
Yeah.
So extra round makes this game better, and I think it is actually in the
it's one of the expansions
in the Oceania actually mentions this as part of it. So even I think it was.
It's true. It's one of the things that did change it because I used to, at the beginning when we didn't do that, I used to, egg bomb the whole thing. Right? Mm-hmm. That's all I did for the last 5 turns. There's a bit more eggs, because that was always going to be the most cost efficient and the most points at the end of the game. But yeah, when that extra turn comes in, I don't play it that way anymore, and it does make me play. It makes me play. Yeah.
Stonemeyer has listened to the fans. The fans were talking about this, and they said, how can we address this? I don't know if it was a huge issue, but it did make the game. I think it would have vaulted it into my.
Well, we only play it with that type of
for sure.
And that's the only way we play it now. Yeah. Now, if you've seen one of our previous videos, I've got this thing pimped out to the teens. There's nothing else I can get for it yet. That's the key.
And yet it's number 2.
And yet it's number 2 on my list. Okay. It will probably rise up and down as I'm winning more often or losing more often, maybe. I don't know. My wife whooped my butt. We played it the other day with everything that you can possibly play with it. All the expansions except for the Vineyard. We haven't played the Vineyard expansion. We've played all the other ones now with it. And it makes it for a really fun game with 2 people. I can tell you that.
We like it at 2.
Yeah. They've really thought it out with the sideboards now, with the 3D components and everything like that. Your board looks spectacular. I was dumb enough not to take pictures, so I couldn't post them. I'm sorry, and I'll fix that the next time I play with it, because yeah, it was a lot of fun. And it's not a long game with 2 people, but it was an enjoyable game with 2 people with all the expansions. And I have to say, a couple of the expansions in there actually speed the game up rather than slow it down. Bonus, negative, depending on who you are. Because they make it a little bit easier to get the machine going and doing multiple things rather than getting stuck sometimes. And
so the extra tiles?
Yeah, the extra tiles, yeah. It does make it so you can get... there was 2 points there where I could get 3 tiles down on my board in one turn. Whereas you couldn't do that before, or it's hard to do. And I did it a couple times in one game. So it tells you, some of them might be a little bit too powerful, but...
How's that speeded up?
Well, because you fill that board a lot faster. You run. It runs faster. I thought. Yeah.
Okay.
It just seemed that way. It seemed that way. Might not have been that way.
Well, this is like with 4 people. This is like an over 2-hour game.
Yep.
But it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Like it just...
No, it doesn't. No, because you're always doing something, and it always seems to be moving, and the turns aren't long. That's what I like about it too.
The odd one is if you're like, you're trying to figure it out, but yeah, most of the time they're quick turns.
I'm a slow player, and everybody that plays with me knows that, or I forget it's my turn. I'm that guy.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, I know there's nobody else in my group that is that person, so I know I am that person. Mm-hmm. That's how I figured it out. But
we got a person that when it's their turn, that's the time they decide to go to the washroom.
Yeah.
Or talk.
Or get food. Yeah. Yeah. We always get those too, but yeah. No, great game. One I could throw on the table all the time. So happy I switched to the special edition. I'll say it again, even in my special edition unboxing. I had a different version and it was just too hard to play. And it actually started to wreck the game a little bit for me. This just knocks it out of the park. And like I said, this will probably... I can flip a coin between my top 2, and my top 1 might surprise people. But yeah.
My number 2 is Orléans. I did research on this game, and I knew I was going to like it right away. I also wanted a bag building game, which this is. And I ended up getting the nice bits for it. They're they're acrylic, so they don't damage. It was an expensive purchase, but it was well worth it. And we both tend to believe if it's going to be in our top 5 game, pimp it out. Spend the money. We're going to be playing it hundreds of times over the life of it. Might as well have nice pieces for it.
Okay, so my number 1 is going to be a surprise to some people. Caverna. I bought this one without a huge amount of research because Agricola was the one I was actually looking at the time. But I found this one for a really good deal. I bought it used. It's got the box inlay to it, which makes it really nice for setup and pack up. Mm-hmm. I didn't think they would be worthwhile as much as they were until I saw this game. I just really enjoy this one. It plays differently every time I play it. I can go for something different almost every time. You can speed up the game a little bit. You can slow it down a lot in different aspects of what you're trying to accomplish for yourself. Yeah, I mean, you can build the caves, you can build the farms, you can work on different pointages. You can work with the cards. You can work with the just trying to get rubies and for the points at the end. There's a lot of different ways. I've won quite a few different ways, and as you can see, I'm saying one, and that's probably why it's in my top, because I do play it more often with people, and I have won quite a few times. And I've played this one with quite a few different groups of people, and it's one that everybody catches on to actually relatively fast for how complex of a game it can be. And then the one thing I have to give this creator huge kudos for is their cheat sheets. It's one of the first games that I had the printed cheat sheets from the creator, and they just make it so much easier. And they keep adding things to it that you can download online and stuff like that. Just one I've really enjoyed all the way through, and it's probably one of my cheaper games in my top 5, to be honest, too, because I bought it used. And
well, yeah, Uwe Rosenberg. Yeah, how can you go wrong with his games?
Yeah.
I liked the game. I played and I thought I was playing really well, and then I ended up being 4th, I think. So I don't. I think it does have the more you play, the better you're going to be at it. It doesn't. I don't think it's an even playing field if you don't have a grasp on the game, but it's enjoyable, and it's not as punishing as Agricula, which I think is the mother to this game. I don't know how you would say it.
Yeah, I would say that, because there's a lot of improvements from that. Let's put it that way.
There's more to it.
Yeah, and I had a lot of people, and I got this one too because it plays to 7, and I'm always looking for games. My wife's side of the family is a larger group we're playing, and we're always looking. And then we also have both our. He has 3 kids, I have 2, and when they're around too, it's always nice to be able to add and include other people into it and play a larger group when you can. So, hey, how's this one back out here again?
Yeah, my number 1 is Castle of Burgundy, special edition. The original, I had the original game, and we loved that one. I don't think it would have been in my top 5 just because it was an ugly game, so I probably wouldn't have. It would have been in my top 5, but not number 1. But this edition, it just looks nice, and I don't know. Yeah. It plays the same, but
it's just
something about it.
Aesthetics do add to the game.
Yeah, and this touching, grabbing those the acrylic tiles,
all the acrylics,
or the minis. I don't have the minis, but
my wife was surprised too. The player mat adds more to it. Over a board, it everything sits nicer. Everything lays down nicer.
It's not loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a little thing like that. I mean, I don't know if I can justify the price on every game to buy a player mat, but
this wasn't a cheap game.
No, yeah.
It's gonna take a while before it pays, but
like my daughter said, and she does. I'd like to give a kudos to my daughter. She does a lot of the video editing for us. My daughter said, and she pointed out to me that I've spent more on this game than I did on one of my first cars. So yeah.
Well, that's where she went.
Yeah.
You spent more on games than you have on me.
Yeah, well, that too, but but yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Here's our 2 number 1s.
The true number 1. I just need to let them win a few more times.
Yeah. You never know, it might move up. Yeah. Mind you, we've got a lot of games sitting there we haven't played yet as well.
There's games that are going to move up on our ranks for sure.
Yeah, it was tough to come up with 5 best, I can tell you that. 10 will be a lot easier, and I know the next time we do this, it will be the top 10 because, there's...
The top 3 was easy. Yeah, the top easy 3 for me.
Yeah.
But then after that, I'm like, I gotta leave that game off. I'm like, oh. Yeah,
it was funny because Brad took pictures of his collection, and I started to go through them all, and I'm thinking, oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, that one too. Oh, okay, and yeah,
and that's only the ones we played.
Yeah, and again, like I looked at my top 10 as I looked at a couple different things: aesthetically pleasing, playability, replayability, and just making sure. Like, I have 1 or 2 games that I like looking at, but it doesn't mean they're the best playing games in the world, and you're not going to be playing them over and over and over and over again. This is Westcoast Meeples, our top 5 over 90 minute games.
Thank you.
Thank you.